Hey guys, welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading for March 30th through April 5th of 2020. So I thought I would switch it up this week. I figured with everything in isolation and kind of pause, it might be a good time to try out some different things I've been wanting to do. So instead of dailies, I've been kind of playing with the idea of doing weeklies. Let me know how you guys enjoy it, or if you'd rather I stick with dailies, etc. Just trying to switch things up, keep the energy moving. I like to change things around, especially the beginning of the new astrological year. So anyways, if you guys haven't, do check out your monthly reads for April 2020. They should all be up by Monday, March 30th. And do make sure to subscribe, guys, if you haven't. Stick around at the end. I've got some big announcements, including price cuts on all of my readings for the time being, a giveaway, and how you can get some quite a bit off on some really awesome astrology readings and compatibility charts, numerology charts. So check out at the end. Let's get right into this. I'm gonna just shuffle up some cards, pull some for the general, and then I'm actually gonna pull some for every single sign, and we're gonna see how the week plays out for you, okay? So in terms of the astrology, we got some stuff going on this week. Monday, we have Mars moving into Aquarius, which brings up this less competitive and more community vibe and all together type of oriented energy here. So there's a real spirit of sharing, working collectively. And again, if you've been lacking some motivation, it might even help you to brainstorm with a group. On Tuesday, March 31st, we have this intense energy of idealism and intellectualism with aggressive Mars and Aquarius meeting up with Pluto in the exact same degree of Aquarius. So some aggressive tones, some nasty comebacks can be up here, especially in terms of the news. It can seem really kind of loud, scary. We might be getting some intense messages today that can even bring up the fear, but also it may even lead to somebody, even some heroic energy kind of coming through, somebody that has, the strength, the heroism, and the altruism to kind of push us through this in the right way. So while other things might seem nasty and people might be, going for low blows here and there in the news and in our lives, there can be also some really great stuff that comes out of it, okay? So not really much happens after that until Friday, April 3rd, where we have Venus moving into Gemini. And it's going to be there for, I think it's like 3 or 4 times the amount it usually is up until August 7th, because it will be going retrograde actually in Gemini, I think May 12th or 13th, I think. So anyways, Venus in Gemini for now, though, is bringing this flirtatious spring love awakening energy. Communication and conversation is going to be extremely stimulating and help you to cultivate more knowledge. It's going to be really into like communicating and knowing more about the other person and learning more about what they're interested in, learning more about what you want to be interested in. And, if you don't have much to talk about, you're going to want to beef up your knowledge, research new things, go to museums, etc. It's going to be awesome. And do try to remember that what you know isn't as important as listening, okay? Because everybody does want to feel heard, so try not to cut people off with what you have to say, okay? And then we're approaching the new moon in Libra, April 7th. So that's the astrology for the week. Let's pull a few cards for this week. And again, this is just going to be general energy. Ooh, okay. So let's pull one more for this. Yay. Okay, cool. So I want to say things are not going to be moving forward as quickly as we'd like them to, but there will be a lot of progression this week, okay? We might feel very, again, undecided, frustrated, and looking for a way forward here with the Queen of Swords here reversed at the beginning of the week. Queen of Swords is when she's reversed, she's very dominated by the more negative aspects of wanting to know more, deceitful knowledge, things that, again, also are confusing, not also expressing our true self. And I feel a lot of us don't have much to say or don't have anything good to say. It almost feels like in the beginning of the week. Because we don't really know where things are going, we're feeling frustrated. I think that's a real global thing going on right now. And that's why I want to talk about the global energies, and then we'll pull a little bit for each sign. But yeah, this is some pretty intense stuff here. In combination, though, around the middle of the week with the 6 of Pentacles and the end of the week, the 8 of Wands, I'm liking that, though. We might start off feeling kind of frustrated and not able to make any clear decisions, communicate clearly, or really tell people what we really want to do. We can't really make heads or tails of a situation. It just feels like trying to mentally work our way through something is not going to help you at the beginning of the week. You kind of have to wait. And don't worry, things are coming in to help, especially in terms of financially, with work, or again, with sustenance. There we do see getting help. We see maybe even the government helping us out at that point, or the government's helping you out with money, with, again, stability at that point. Maybe they'll finally, start putting that out there, coming to the decisions that they needed to. We also see, again, things balancing out for the better. Things are progressing when you get a 6 right in the center of the week here. 6s are always my sign of messages from your higher self that things are on the right path. They are progressing. They're moving on from the frustrations that we've been at. And the 8 of Wands is things really, again, communication progressing. There's a lot more energy in this. And I think, again, working with others, you see all that energy that brings up, again, that Mars and Aquarius stuff going on, where we're having this a lot more communication, a lot more working collectively with the 8 of Wands, because it's usually involving other people, travel, communications, things finally pushing forward towards our end goals. And the overall theme of the week, not so bad, is the... who is he here? Why did I just say who is he? The Hanged Man reverse. The who is he reverse. Why did I say that? Anyways, the Hanged Man reverse is asking you when it's upright, asks you to kind of take that time out, because we don't have a solid footing right now. It usually has his feet in the symbol of a 4, which is grounding, a stable ground to stand on. When he's reversed, I kind of get the feeling that we're ready for things to progress. We've seen things in a different light, or we might, for some of you, you still might need to. And if you're trying to impatiently push through that, give it some time, okay? Things can't progress as quickly as we would like them to right now, and it's not all in our hands, okay? So we need to focus less on ourselves and be less opposed and at odds with the spiritual experience and the things that are trying to come through in this time of pause right now. So can be that some of us need to take this pause, need to stop fighting it so much, but it could also be that some of us have kind of gone within here and are ready to start moving forward, are ready to start putting forth the first steps, to start asking help, to start communicating and letting things flow. But again, remember, the sense of egoism with the Hangman reverse is not great. So let's start pulling for all of the signs here. We're going to start with Aries. Aries sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Aries. We're using the Morgan Greer Tarot. See what's going on for you guys this week in the emotional. Ooh. Oh, this could be a frustrating week for you in some aspects. However, the emotional says that you have grown a lot in terms of your emotional maturity, your emotional capacity here, what you can give to something. Also, this is a very creative week for you. Your emotions are deep. They're running smoothly. When you get the King of Cups, he's kind of on top of his feelings, his emotions, and his ability to emotionally be mature enough. You've been through a lot. You're stable there, okay? So things are good. We're able to really communicate also the depths of our emotions this week. In terms of career, I really like this. You do see things moving forward here for you guys really, really nicely. A lot of opportunity, progression, communication. It's all, pushing you towards your end goals. There's a lot of momentum here this week. Making decisions, putting yourself out there if you've been applying for jobs, etc. And also hearing back from people. There's a lot going on, and that's good. Keeping you busy, which is something I think that you guys have been missing, especially in your season. Relationships are a little bit frustrated here. 10 of Wands, a little bit irritated. It could feel like very burdensome, and you've got a lot on your back this week, and that could be coming out in terms of your communications with them. Maybe you're getting frustrated, you're getting irritated because of the energy right now, because there's a lot going on, and maybe because of all that 8 of Wands stuff with career, you're going to feel a little bit burdened, a little bit weighed down, bogged down at this time. So in terms of relationship, try not to take that out on others. Try to find better ways to communicate and regroup. Okay, your overall theme, interestingly enough, is the Devil. Don't be tempted by things that seem good but aren't good, is what I'm going to say first of all. And if you're in a devil situation, a negative situation that keeps you locked, keeps you in this cycle of, I can't leave it, but it's not, I don't like it. I hate this, but I can't do anything about it. I'm not happy, but I'm not going to do anything about it because I feel guilty about leaving it because I feel negatively about changing the situation. So when you get the devil here as your main energy this week, there's frustrations, there's irritations and feeling really stuck. But also what you have to know is that you can always break free from the devil's influence. It tells you that you cannot, but you actually can. So yes, we're going to be fighting some demons this week and working through some tough stuff in terms of what we're attached to that is really not benefiting us also. All right, so Aries, those are your messages this week, okay? And now we're going to continue on here, go on to Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right. Ooh, let's see. Oh, okay. That's really annoying. Too many, and then I'll face down, which is always fun. Okay. Interesting. This is kind of, it just feels very masculine and authoritative for you guys this week. There's a lot of masculine energy, I will say. So your emotional is very stable. You're not really moving with that. Emotions are feeling, actually probably even very good. I feel like you guys, especially in isolation, Tauruses, Cancers, Virgos, I feel like they're kind of enjoying it almost a little bit too much. It's a little bit too enjoyable to get yourself out of the main, out of the craziness for a while and be able to work from home, relax, rest, really get into that more Taurian set of energy here. So there's a lot of security there with our emotions in all of this. We know everything's going to be fine. We're not freaking out. It's very peaceful, at calm, at ease. We feel very in control in those areas, okay? And we're nurturing that stuff as well where it needs to be, it feels, with emotions. Career is interesting. It's the Chariot. If you have been trying to ride two horses with one butt, it's not going to work. It, to me, feels, I get the sense that some of you guys want to do one thing and also another thing, or you'd like things to be this way, but you also need this, and you've got to bring these two things together. So if you want to move, but you don't have the money, you've got to figure out how to make that work in some way here. You've got to be able to either get it where you are and then do that, or we have to be making sure that we're going forward in the same direction, and we're not kind of shooting ourselves in the foot here by trying to make too many things happen at once. Bring your priorities together to work towards one common goal and focus on that. Don't do things that contradict each other is what I'm getting for career this week, and things will flow smoothly. So look at the energies that are contradicting each other. I want this, but are you willing to do these things? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So your love and relationships here, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a harsher energy. And I would say in terms of communication, we could be experiencing a bit of harshness, cutting words, getting frustrated with each other, or just a lot of quick communications is what I'm getting with the Knight of Swords. He doesn't always have the best feeling to him, but if you have been waiting for a message from somebody, it could be coming in this week, especially in terms of love and relationships, getting the communication, the clarity that you were looking for. And your overall theme of the week here is King of Swords. There's a lot of clarity in how he sees things, a lot of truth, and again, a lot of intellect when you get the King of Swords. He's not really a mess around kind of energy. He's very mature. He's in full command of his energy, full command of his self here. And with two kings in this reading and a knight, I feel very much like you guys are looking for control over your life, looking to be the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, making the right decisions, staying on top of things, proving to people that you are in full command of your castle, All right, so again, any decisions that need to be made, it definitely feels like you can this week. And again, this pause type of stuff here isn't bothering you. You know things are flowing, so I'm not even going to get into that. Let's go into Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see how you're doing this week. And all right. Okay, cool. Aries season is bringing up a lot of this empowered masculine type energy in a lot of people's readings, because that is your theme of the week here. I really like that. The Emperor is in full command here, like I was just saying for Taurus with the Knight of Swords. He is a leader. The Emperor is a leader type of energy. It takes the masculine to the next level. He's like a heightened King of Wands for me. There's a lot of power there. You know, he's that CEO. He's not dirtying his hands in the everyday stuff, but he is taking full command of his life here, making the decision, telling people that this is what needs to get done. Even if it's at home and like you're a female, you're like, you need to go do this. You need to go do this. What I'm deciding is like on point, and you need to listen to me this month. Emotionally, there's a lot of frustration, and I do feel this with you guys. There's, you know, we're not able to go out, we're not able to do a lot of the things that we want to communicate and really connect in the ways that we're used to. We might not be able to do all the things that, again, with this quarantine and pandemic situation that we would like to be doing right now. And I've been feeling that frustrated energy, so go check out your monthly if you haven't. It touches a lot on what happens in April for you and how you're feeling, etc. So don't worry, it's up. But the Four of Cups is definitely a frustrated situation, dissatisfaction with what's being offered to you, and yet what's being offered to you might not even be that bad, but you're really not into it at this moment here, especially in terms of emotion, how people are trying to connect with you emotionally about it and being like, oh, it's fine, Gemini, just relax. You're not into that this week at all. Work is good. You're just going to keep on doing what you're doing, working with what you can, proving to people that you can still do this, keeping yourself busy. So there's a lot to be said there for work. You probably are very busy with the Eight of Pentacles, continuing to also hone your craft if you have the time to do that and nothing else. Your love and relationships is Five of Cups. We could be experiencing a bit of a loss in some ways. For some of you that are more single, you might not have been able to connect with somebody, and this whole situation kind of maybe had it fall apart, or again, for other reasons, something might have fallen apart. You might have been ghosted, not get to talk to somebody that you have been wanting to talk to, see, etc. But the Five of Cups, there's still two cups there. There is love coming in for those of you who are really just tired of trying to look for love, and this whole situation has made it harder. Don't worry. You will get your cup of love here. You will get what you've been waiting for. Don't worry about it. So just try to focus on the positives and less on the crying over spilled milk, things that probably weren't good for you, people that weren't good for you anyways. Have your moment to mourn, but don't focus too much on it. Because again, you're empowered this week and you tell everybody else, including your own emotions, what's up. So I really like the Emperor here. He's very authoritative, realizes and is the master of his emotions, a master of his intelligence and his ability to really realize his ideas and put them into action, make other people put them into action. So you're really strong this week in those areas. Let's move on now to Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Ooh, what's this? Okay. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Of course, as soon as I start focusing on love, it throws out half the deck. Half of you wants to keep doing this thing. Half of you is ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater in terms of a love thing, huh? That's not right. That's definitely not. Sometimes you just know when two hearts get stuck together, it's like it's neither of you. And we were waiting for you. Yes, we were waiting for you. I knew it was going to be something like that. All right. I like your theme this week. I appreciate it. Do check out your monthly, guys. I really enjoyed the monthly for you. I think it was extremely empowering. Do check that out if you haven't. Four of Swords is your emotional state for this week. There's a lot of rest, recuperation. Don't exert too much emotion. Don't worry about things that don't need to be worried about. Don't give people your emotional energy that don't deserve it, that don't need it right now. Everybody's going through their own stuff, and a lot of people look to Leos for support because you guys are always there. You're really loyal. You're always doing this, that, and everything for everybody. But if people are constantly relying on you and you're just taking it, you don't have to anymore. You don't have to. So it's time for you to rest. It's time for you to put on some Netflix and like sleep for a good long time. I think some of you really need some rest because emotionally you've been through a lot, and we've talked a lot about that in your monthlies, and just rest. Okay, emotionally rest. Your career is pretty interesting here with the Death card. There could be new beginnings. I'm getting the sense, some of you really don't enjoy, with the ending of one situation, there's a really beautiful opportunity to go into something that you really want to do. Things that needed to end are finally ending. Ways of doing things, especially in terms of work, unhealthy ways of working, and Leos, you're kind of known for that, are ending this week. It feels like you need to start cultivating what's best for you, because otherwise you're realizing it's affecting your work, it's affecting your life, it's affecting how much you enjoy what you're doing. So some major changes need to be made there. Let's actually pull a clarifier for that so I don't worry you guys with such an intense card in your career. Some of you could actually be losing a situation, but it's going to lead to more for you, I'm getting, yeah. So don't worry, whatever is ending, there is so much coming in. There's a lot happening here. And even if something isn't fully ending, expect major transformation in terms of work, because death isn't always endings. It's the ending of one situation, maybe stagnancy that needed to die off, things not moving for a while, but there's communication, and with communication comes momentum towards the end goal. You always do need to put in communication, effort, work, and pressure moving forward with the Eight of Wands, but it's not that bad. So that you get 2 8s also, because your love and relationships here is 8 of Cups. This is a real moving on week for you, and I'm really excited about it. Do check out your monthly. I can't stress, your reading kind of stayed with me. Not in all the ways, I don't remember everything that was said, but the feeling of it and the general message really stuck with me, Leos. I really enjoyed it, what came through for you. So 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is moving on, moving forward, and leaving things that maybe have, especially relationships that we once enjoyed, that once brought us happiness. It's nice to recognize that, but it's also really nice to move on from people that have hurt you, and to remember that, yes, with love and the enjoyment with it also comes pain. People have probably hurt you to get to this point. People have probably used you, have seen what they could get out of your emotions, get out of the relationship, especially even physically, because you guys are beautiful, and people are always trying to get some with a Leo, and you guys are so loyal and wonderful. It's like very frustrating. So whatever situation, again, even it could just be the way of dating that you were doing, it's like, I'm just leaving this all for now. I get the sense that you guys just kind of want to shut off emotionally this week, and please do so if you need to. Leave relationships, friendships, even that are no longer satisfying to you. Your theme of the week is 9 of Wands. Your boundaries is what I get immediately for 9 of Wands. For me as a reader, 9 of Wands talks about our boundaries, our social boundaries, our social conventions. Who do we allow in, and what do we allow past our boundaries? What do we need to have our boundaries up for in some relationships and some friendships? Do people using us too much? It's time to, state where your boundaries lie, and to be ready, because you don't want to be at the point where you're carrying 10 wands for everybody else around you and none for yourself. So make sure that people know that you have some clear set boundaries this week. And even if they need you and all this stuff, be like, I need a week for me. It's nice that you need something, but you can't always turn to me, okay? It's time to start figuring things out on your own. I mean that you saying that to other people, not so much you. You need that time for you this week. Take a damn rest. Take a nap. Take a day off. I love you, Leos. Okay, let's go on to Virgos. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Ever the interesting Virgos. Okay, definitely that. Ooh, that one's been out a lot this week. Let's see what your general theme of this week is. Good. Not a bad week. Not a bad week. So emotionally, Page of Rods. Just watch out for being a little immature, a little frustrated with your emotions, and having them kind of jump from here to there to everywhere. I feel you guys feel a little bit jumpy with your emotions, a little bit jumpy with your attention span, and maybe a little bit immature in how we're communicating. We get excited about something, then we get really mad about something. So watch for a little bit of this, flitting emotionality is what I get sometimes with the Page of Rods. He's excited to say what he's saying, but what's behind it and how quickly does it change? It's pretty insane in that kind of sense. So just watch that. And also maybe even, it could also just be in terms of emotions that you're also growing. I don't know, you're getting more in touch with your inner child and things that you enjoy. So don't be afraid to do that as well. But it could also be bringing up those more childlike emotions, more teenage emotions. I don't know, it feels like a revival of puberty for some of you for some reason. So in terms of career, Seven of Wands, you might feel kind of up against it, having to fight a lot of different battles, having to deal with a lot of BS right now. And it could be really frustrating communication wise, getting things moving forward. It's frustrating right now, but you're fighting the good fight is how I feel for you guys. So keep at it. People that are trying to come up against you, you're like, nope, nope, I'm right and you're wrong and this is why, and do I need to do this again? Really? Okay, Jesus, okay. So it's like, it's a lot for you this week, don't worry. But here with in terms of relationships, it's Eight of Wands. There's a lot of communication and good flowing energy to how we're talking. Maybe we're doing even some physical things together. There's a lot of physicality here, the Eight of Wands. Passion reignited, possible plans on traveling in terms of relationship. But overall, there's momentum towards our end goals, wanting to move even for some of you, and being like, you know what, maybe that'd be a good idea. And I didn't get to see things in this perspective until now, but maybe moving like across the world would be a good idea. Maybe moving to this place would be a good idea. Maybe traveling here, just seeing what it's like, and or you know, trying to go for something new. There's a lot of new lines of thought, new energy, and new communication in terms of love and growing together. So I get that. And for those of you who are very single, there's communication and possibly a lot of options for you this week, maybe even through online stuff, etc. But don't try to be going out meeting a bunch of people at clubs and whatnot. Stay healthy, stay inside. Your theme of the week is the sun. How beautiful is that? Amazing. It's happiness. This is the happiest card in the deck, and there's real connection here with communication and growth together. It feels like both of you kind of take off your masks and just reveal what you want and what you're now looking towards the future with, if you're in a relationship or getting to a deeper point in one. And it's like, wow, I thought you'd be mad, Ari, and they'd be like, I thought you'd be mad. And it's like a real coming together of seeing each other in a really beautiful light and being like happy, excited, having something real to celebrate because things are progressing nicely, surprisingly. It's like you didn't expect these flowers to bloom and the sun to shine, and here it is. Now all of a sudden you can see this new path forward, see this happiness, see what you need to celebrate. So Virgos, those are your weekly messages. Have a great week. Loving it. Let's check out Libra. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. March 30th through April 5th. I keep wanting to say April 4th. Oh, I feel, yep, I was like, ooh, career feels interesting. Interesting. Okay. We shuffle these up quite a bit here, and you still got the same theme of the week as Leo, which is about boundaries, and we'll get there, but make sure you're letting people know in terms of boundaries, especially in terms of work this week. Libras tend to take on and take on and take on, and they don't let others kind of take on at all. And I know this because I've got quite a few Libras in my life. Shout out to my sister and my father. Libras tend to try to do everything for everybody, and you guys don't need to do that. Other people have responsibilities, and you have to let them prove their responsibility or not, and you cannot always be the judge, jury, and executioner in that situation. So let people know your own boundaries, and if, you know, they're getting frustrated with other people, especially at work, you know, oh, well, this person can't, and they can't do this, so I need you to. Not my monkeys, not my circus is the sense I get, because career is 10 of Wands. Not my monkeys, not my circus needs to happen. And we need to talk about your monthly. Oh my God, you guys definitely need to see your monthly. This is like the beginning of it. I'm feeling it right now. It's like this might even be the straw that broke the camel's back and kind of leads to the progression of your monthly, which is beautiful. And again, you and Leo's readings really stuck with me this month because there's such progression there. So if you have placements in Leo or Libra, check them out, okay? The monthlies for April, I really enjoyed the readings, and I think you will too. Especially if you're feeling this. But 10 of Wands here, wow, that's frustrating energy. It's feeling stuck, very burdened, very overburdened by everybody else's crap. You know, oh, I'll do this, I guess, and I guess I'll do this as well. And suddenly you're doing so many things for so many people, and you're carrying so much worry, weight, and anxiety along with all of that, that you've got to start lightening your load and looking at your baggage. You know, do a Marie Kondo clean out. even if that helps you mentally, even if just doing it physically in your room, doing it. But I'm also saying doing it mentally, doing it with your responsibilities, doing it in terms of work, okay? Your emotional is Nine of Pentacles. You know what you have to offer, and you know that you're very stable, you're doing good emotionally, you're proud of yourself, there's no lack of confidence and security in yourself here. So don't let all this other crap bring you down. This is what you should be feeling, and instead, this is what you're going around doing. So get your life looking more like that and less like this, because you deserve it. And other people will take advantage of Leos and Libras a lot, because you guys do a lot for everybody. And I don't know why these two sides, because again, you're air, they're fire, but there's just this thing about you guys that's similar in that respect. Anyways, Knight of Rods here. Knight of Rods is really nice in terms of love and relationship. It's awakening of passion, communication, getting excited about things together, maybe even thinking about moving, traveling together, because he is a mover, a thinker, a doer. He's got new creative energy. Maybe you're relating to each other in these new creative ways. There's just a lot of passion, communication, excited energy here if you're in a relationship. And if not, you could be meeting somebody that, you know, is a Sagittarius, Aries, etc., maybe a fire sign, maybe not, but somebody that is, you know, good looking, exciting, you know, talks the talk. You're flirting back and forth, especially with, you know, Venus moving into Gemini. I almost said Gemini moving into Venus. You know, towards the end of the week here, there's a lot of, you know, just good back and forth intellectualism that gives you all excited in terms of how you're talking. It's just, oof, it's nice. So pretty good for you guys this week. Don't get too worried on things progressing. Everything is moving forward as it should. Let's move on to Scorpio. Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Heck yeah. Okay. Fall off. This is a really weird week. You guys have layers. Of course you've got layers. You're so interesting. It can't just be like all simple. It's got to go in layers and be all weird, of course. Emotions are interesting. Eight of Swords. Emotionally, you're not really feeling like you can communicate about it. Like, why should I talk about it? Why should I release these emotions? There's a lot to be, it feels like you're holding in and trying to intellectualize with your emotions. And you're fixed water and you can't really do that. So the more you hold back on these things, the less you're able to progress, the more stuck you're going to feel. I feel like we're going to come back to that in a second. But your career is pretty nice this week. King of Rods. I feel like you're telling people what's what. You're proving to people your own power, your own worth, your own authority and knowledge in a situation. Because the King of Rods is, you know, he's noble, he's honest. He's got this really intense, like, CEO type vibe where he's not getting his hands dirty and all this stuff. He does what he has to do, but he also, you know, usually has people under him that he's, you know, directing, etc. It just feels like you're taking of this really authoritative role. This is what I have to offer. I know I'm King of Rods level. Don't mess with me. This is my power. This is how talented I am. This is how amazing I am. There's a lot of security, a lot of structure there. There's just a lot of, you know, there's a lot of passion as well, and what I say goes type of energy. So you guys are really standing in your power this week in terms of career, and you could even be getting looked at by some bigger companies, bigger situations, but there's a real sense of authority and growth there, and stepping into a true position of, you know, some empowered energy and confidence in yourself as well. Love and relationships is Six of Cups. There seems to be this type of reconciliation, falling in love again. For some of you, thinking about exes in the past and how things were, you know, when we fell in love, or, you know, that person that you can't seem to stop thinking about from the past, etc. You could have that kind of stuff going on with the Six of Cups. However, it's this kind of childhood romantic feeling, and even if you're in a relationship and there is no third party or etc. like that, there's this sense of, falling back in love, of puppy love, childhood love, or again, falling in love again, getting back into, remember when we did this, remember that, wasn't that nice? There's just real sense of soulmate and connection type of love here with the Six of Cups for me, so I really like that. And your overall theme of the week is actually Three of Cups. You'll have stuff to celebrate, don't worry. You'll be celebrating something, things are coming together, maybe even, raising our glasses to a success for yourself here, but I don't know, you and it feels like even two other people, because there are three people here, might be celebrating something together that you have kind of come out the other end on, that you've succeeded in. And also having fun is in your energy this week. Have some fun with this. And I think connecting with friends in a more fun way, or trying to just have more fun, is going to help you in terms of your emotions and help you see things from a different perspective. So don't be afraid to look at that. I feel like that's kind of what this relates to from the general weekly. And do check out your monthly, guys. That is up, my Scorpios, for April 2020. All right, let's move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sagittarius. Been getting really nice readings. I wish I was a Sag. I wish I had like any placements. I think I might have some, but can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm not sure. But I really would love to be a Sag lately, for all the readings you guys have been getting have been nice. Okay. Yeah, there's a really secure energy to you lately, really supported in your home and family. Your emotions are really stable. You're feeling a lot of camaraderie and love with family and friends, people you might even be isolated, stuck with. There's a real sense of community and just happiness there. And I don't even want to dig too deep at that, because your readings have been so nice. And they feel so nice. It just feels secure. It feels happy. You've got family and friends to rely on. There's a lot of goodness here. There's a lot of, again, stability, growth, especially in your family or in your found family type situation, in your groups. Your community is just feeling nice, okay? And Ace of Pentacles is your career. So there could even be new opportunities, new doorways for career. New things you're finding that you enjoy doing and that are actually going to pay you. You could even be receiving an offer, receiving something more here that's actually very helpful. It just feels like a big old gift of money, or it doesn't even have to be that big, but whatever it is, it feels helpful. It feels like it opens a door for us this week. So career definitely feels stable, secure, and possible. Nice offers there. Love and relationships, here we get the Chariot. So make sure that we're both on the same playing field, that we're both headed in the same direction before we start running towards, the marriage counter. I always said the marriage counter, running towards the church, whatever. I don't know. If you're really into somebody and you're really not, and you're just excited, you want to jump right into it, make sure they're on the same playing field. Make sure that they have the same goals, the same wants as you. We're all speaking the same language. You know what I mean? So love and relationships has things moving forward, but we kind of have to bring opposing things into balance, opposing viewpoints and ways of doing things, of what we want out of this, back into balance here, so we can make sure we're headed in the right direction. And if not, you take your horses and you keep going, looking for the right person, right situation that's going to give you that. Okay, and your general theme for the week here is Queen of Pentacles. Very stable, very secure Sagittarius. Very much about, the manifestation of money. She doesn't move quickly, because what she has planted comes back to her. Queen of Pentacles is patient. She's reliable. She's got something real to give and to offer materially. She also, brings up material beauty, material sustenance. And again, I just feel, in terms of the material, in terms of the physical, you're feeling really fine and good this week. You've got the stability, you have the security and the backing right now, and you're feeling really stable. You have this real sense of stability. Even in April, I picked up on that. So check out your reading for April too. There's just such a nice sense of knowledge, stability, and growth there. And if you've been wanting to learn new things, it's like you've learned some new things and have taken it to the next level, and you might even be receiving new work stuff because of it. So good stuff going on here, all right? All right, let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Capricorn. Ooh. Ooh, itchy nose. Really weird. As soon as your career card came out, which is good. And let's move on to... Interesting. Okay. What do you fear, and what are the shadow things coming up to kind of spook you right now? I think some of you, again, get this sense that, I don't know, there's just a lot of fear in something not working out the way you want it to, especially in terms of life path and career decisions that you've made. So it's time to kind of face that stuff. When the moon shows up here, there's fears, there's a bunch of weirdness, you know, with all that stuff. There's a yearning for fulfillment, but there's also this energy of, you know, there's unforeseen perils. There's things that lie in the shadows that I don't know really what's there. And I can't really divine what's happening. There's a deeper need to emotionally feel your way through this and not let the shadow feelings, the shadow self get in the way. Okay, because the moon does bring up all these fears and this yearning in these situations, but there's also this kind of more psychic energy of needing to dip into that and really not let the darkness magnify your fears and the fears of the dangers that are lurking here, there, everywhere. Your emotional is really nice though. King of Swords is able to kind of cut through that, to see through that. So yes, the moon might be your theme of the week, and it might be starting to bring up again these fears and magnifying all the shadows and making everything seem worse than it is. But the King of Swords can cut through that. Logic can cut through that. Your ability to discern the truth, to be, again, this in full command, to have this mature energy here. He commands law and authority. You know, you can see things in the black and white and take it out of this stuff for this week, especially emotionally, in your emotions. No, I don't need to feel sad about that. There's nothing to feel sad about there. It's not my fault. Things like that. It's putting logic and reasoning to it. Your career is the Magician. You can, whatever you want to do, whenever you've been, again, fearing, doing, going for, you have the tools. Just start doing it. Start putting yourself out there. When the Magician shows up, he denotes this ability to translate your ideas into action. So whatever ideas you have, whatever you've been wanting to do, thinking about doing, start doing. And your love and relationships is Nine of Pentacles. You've got something real and amazing to bring to the table, especially if you're single. Even if you're happy single, you know, you might even not want to date right now. You might be totally happy, really secure, really stable in that right here, and, you know, be the single happy person. And you have nothing that you want to do, but you want with anybody. But how you're coming across is very attractive, really stable, really mature. I'm getting also just very able to, somebody that is their own person, doesn't have to rely on a partner, doesn't have to rely on anybody else. There's this really nice energy of individuality and living your own life, and that's what's really attractive about you right now if you're single. And if not, you know, there's a real sense of individuality and togetherness that's really working in your relationship right now. So good stuff for you guys this week. Definitely check out your monthly, guys. That should be up this Monday. I know I already shot it, but it's not up, and I'm going to put it up with the last two, Aquarius and Pisces, Monday. So keep an eye out for that. And all right, let's check out now Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, Aquarius, don't slap me like this. It's like whiplash. Jesus. All right. I guess we get two for career because I can't ignore it. Can't ignore it. All right. And let's see. All right. Why? Okay. Aquarius, y'all been going through something, haven't you? I don't know what's going on with you guys lately. Emotions are a lot of this. This is probably the least, it's not great, but it's also not bad. When you do get the Ten of Swords with your emotions, you've hit your lowest point, and now it's time to start taking them out. You might feel extremely defeated, hurt, taken advantage by, especially in terms of love, because the Magician reverse comes up for love and relationships for you. Somebody that is the snake oil salesman that has been saying one thing and doing a bunch of things behind your back. He is kind of my cheater card, so watch out if you're in a relationship with somebody you can't trust. You're talking to somebody and things might seem as too good to be true, and now you might find out this week that they were. That this person has probably hurt you or was doing something behind your back or didn't want anything other than to get in your pants in the first place. So I'm going to be honest there. The Magician reverse, you really should be watching who you're talking to, and also watch how you're approaching the situation. If it's the kind of a flip situation, are you in this relationship trying to talk to somebody to gain something? What do you really bring to it? And what do they think you're bringing to it? There's a lot of discrepancies there is what I'm getting. 10 of Swords is, what you have to remember is that nothing gets lower than that, especially emotionally and mentally. There's been a lot that's been driven into you. A lot of hurt, maybe a lot of betrayal. But you also have to kind of stand up, take responsibility for allowing it to happen. Take those swords out. And even if it wasn't your fault, don't take responsibility for that. I'm not saying you all deserve this or anything. I'm not saying anybody deserves this, but I'm saying, it's time to stand up and take those swords out and know that there's still dawn breaking on the horizon there. Okay, even if it feels like you're dead in the snow. Career is looking like something right now. Knight of Cups reverse and Knight of Pentacles reverse. You might have been a little bit too illusory, too dreamy about a situation or something that came in with this really dreamy offer is not really panning out. And it's getting kind of frustrating. You might have had, big ideas about how this was going to work out. And I wanted to be famous and do this and do that. And I thought if I work with this person, it'd be great. But that might be what this has a lot to do with this week, is realizing that not everybody is on your side and everybody's trying to gain for themselves at this time. And being an Aquarian, that's a really hard thing for you to understand, to realize, and to really wrap your head around, because you guys are so humanitarian, or again, more like, I want to work with others, I want to, I want to collaborate, I want to work on with my community, on the community, for the world, for what's best for everybody, and, support and lift up others. But those people that you're lifting up, I'd watch out for them. People also that you've met through this situation that are trying to get in with you romantically, I don't think that they are. I think that there's something to be had there. And again, Nine of Swords is this nightmare moment. Oh my God, I can't believe that this has happened. I can't believe that here we are. It's kind of my staying up in the middle of the night, having your head in your hands and just asking, why me? Why me? Why did this have to happen? Feeling the guilt, the shame, the remorse for allowing it to get here. So there's a lot of nastiness this week, yes, but it's kind of a wake-up call. It's going to be a tough week for sure, especially with Mars entering your sign, with its little dance with Pluto on at your degree in your sign on Tuesday. It's going to be a tough week, yes. We're going to hear things we didn't want to hear. We're going to get some real low blows that are going to be dealt to us this week, but it helps you progress towards the future. This is where we're going to go now. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to get back in touch with the people that I should have been in touch with this whole time. I'm going to start doing what I need to do. So things do progress, even if they do feel like such a loss and so down and out this week. It will be okay. All right? Aquarius, those are your messages. Do check out your monthly for April. Let's check out Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. My lovely, lovely Pisces. My sweet little fish. Okay. Okay. We'll take that. Heck, okay. All right, okay. Jesus Christ. You and Aquarius throwing me for loops for this weekly emotion. Let's get to the hard stuff first. Let's get through the hard stuff, because career looks nice. We'll get there. Emotionally, and emotionally, love and relationships, and your theme of the week are all pretty painful cards. Let's talk about that. I mean, love and relationships, not bad. Ace of Cups, falling in love, feeling, this sense of renewal of, your cup overflowing with emotion. But your theme of the week, it's crazy, is the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords, which is difficult and painful. And as I said that, for some reason, somewhere in this house, Scylla is losing her goddamn mind. As soon as I just brought up these two cards, but Three of Swords and Ten of Swords are some really painful endings, some really truly dark moments where you felt stabbed in the back, felt stabbed in the heart. How can we get through this? How will I move through this situation? And I really hope that she shuts up soon. Give me a second. Okay, I think she's finally done. 10 minutes later. Quarantine's fun, guys, right? Okay. Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, though, are some really painful endings, and that is the theme of the week. And it feels to me that you have been hurt. You have felt very betrayed by somebody, by a situation, and the fact that somebody, it feels, doesn't understand you, didn't understand your emotions and your emotional input into this. Let's look a little bit just deeper at this, because this is kind of painful. Yeah, and your emotions this week also with the Five of Swords. There's some big, I don't know how to explain this. It feels like certain relationships are going to need to be looked at again. Five of Swords is here in your emotions. The Death card is also here. There's big endings for you guys in terms of that, what needed to end, in terms of a situationship and a relationship, something that was not real. For those of you in that kind of situation, I don't know, it kind of gets flipped on its head. Maybe you needed to look at it from a different perspective. Maybe they did, but something has truly changed here. The table has flipped, and you kind of need to look at the whole situation now for what it was and how it played out. And again, from maybe a different perspective than your own here. So there's a lot of shifting in perspectives. There's maybe even some major endings in terms of some emotional stuff here, in terms of emotional attachments, toxic relationships, toxic attachments. But you could feel, again, very hurt by how somebody treats you in a fight, what they say to you. And again, check out the beginning with the astrology if you want to look a little bit more at that, because it's a lot. And to see the Hangman reversed as like the general energy for the week, and then your emotional energy coming up, with this clarifier of the Hangman upright, it's confusing. Wanting to move forward and not being able to, needing to pause again and look at this, because maybe we rushed through it. Maybe we were looking at it from one perspective again, and we needed to look at it from their perspective, from a third party's perspective, from something else. We needed to see this in a totally different view than we had been able to, and we were able to up until this point. So major stuff for you guys this week. Oof. I hope you guys enjoyed this new format, though. Let me know how you guys liked it. If you'd rather I just go back to dailies or what. I just thought it'd be fun to try out some new stuff here. Check out the monthlies, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Let's do the announcements. I am taking 20% off of all of my readings for the time being. I just wanted to be able to offer some help here at a discounted price for those who are going through it right now with all this COVID-19 stuff globally. I understand. So all that info is below on booking. If you want, you can also enter for a contest. If you book a reading, you'll be entered in the contest automatically. If you don't want to book a reading, or you can't and you still want to enter, all you have to do is share a video, take a screenshot of it, share it on social media or whatever, and then email me. Okay, my email is always in the description box below, and it will be for this wire wrap bone ring. It's really, really cool, made by a really awesome artist. These are actual real bone beads on it. I'm also going to be giving you guys some crystals, as well as a specially made spell sachet just for you by me. And you can enter all the way up until April 13th, okay? And what else? Also, trulydivine.com is an amazing service for astrology charts, for compatibility charts, as well as some numerology as well. I think I just said numerology. I'm sorry. But they do amazing stuff, and they send me some samples for me and my partner for the compatibility, for myself for the astrology. And I've got my chart done a bunch of times by all sorts of different, websites and people. And this was by far the most in-depth, comprehensive, just intelligent way to go about it. I really loved it. It was so easy to go through, and even my partner, who knows nothing about this stuff, was reading it and was just blown away by how accurate it was, but also that they didn't just say, oh, you're a Scorpio, so you're sneaky or something like that. They went into, sometimes you can, hide emotions, and these are the reasons why, and these are the placements in your chart that make these things worse or better, etc. And this is how it, interacts with your partner. It was just incredible. So definitely go check them out, guys. You can use the code Deku30. You can use it more than once. You can also give it to others, give it to friends, family, anybody that you think wants, one of these charts or is interested in it. So definitely go share that Deku30 on trulydivine.com, and all that info is always in my description box below the video. Have a wonderful and blessed week, guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Don't go out and meet up with a bunch of other people if you don't need to. Don't go to parties if you don't need to. Like, Jesus Christ, people, just take a break from partying right now. I can't believe what I've been seeing. It's just stop, okay? Just full stop for a week. It's okay to not go out and do things. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching. So it's okay. Anyways, love you guys all. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Namaste. Hey, Cancers. Sorry, I actually forgot about you guys as I was going through all the signs. It happens sometimes. Not that you're forgettable. Cancer is my rising sign. I can't believe I forgot it. So let's get into this for this week here. All right. Ooh. Kind of pressing week. I don't know, it just feels like a buildup of pressure. Honestly, with all these cards, it just has a general sense of buildup of pressure. That song Pressure Drop comes to mind here. Your emotional is 3 of Wands. We do see progression and action there. We're speaking, we're communicating our emotions. We're also seeing things through, taking new routes also in terms of communicating our emotions. So Cancer, sometimes you will hold things within for too long and then it explodes and it's bad, or you can come out in it's like non-confrontal ways, but what is the word I'm looking for? It doesn't come out sometimes in the best way when we're feeling emotional because we're not confronting the problem head on, basically. Can't think of the exact term I was trying to go for there. Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't. But the 3 of Wands does show progression, does show action in a new direction moving forward. So I like that. It feels like growth. It feels like communication. It feels like ease with communicating our emotions. And also a deeper look at, how to progress further with our emotional self and growing more, becoming more mature, So career is interesting, 7 of Wands, and I'm feeling a little bit of pressure there. Like there's some issues that we're going to have to tackle. It just feel like, weeds cropping up here and there that we're kind of having to battle down to fix these problems, to redo old things, and it's kind of irritating. We're feeling like a little on edge here, a little bit like, people are picking on us a lot at work. They might be, just nitpicking stupid things, and you guys are very nice and are, confronting them about it. Again, there's like this buildup of you probably need to have some confrontations, and you're not having them, if I'm being honest. And love and relationships here is the 4 of Cups. We're just not feeling really emotionally connected or satisfied right now. We could be very distracted. It's just things aren't exactly where we would like them to be, and we're a little bit dissatisfied with what we are dealing with right now in terms of our love and relationship. For some of you, it's like you're just not meeting anybody right now that's fitting the bill. You're just not meeting anybody at all. Nobody's interesting you, or even the people that are, it's like there's just something missing. There's something off right now. And if you're in a relationship, it's like you're having a hard time really even, again, communicating right now. It's like there's a pressure buildup, and you have to find a way to release it without it exploding on somebody at some point, because I'm getting that kind of sense here. So whether it's 100% perfect or not, it might be best to try to find a way to communicate, to try to take what you have emotionally and work with it, because sitting where you are dissatisfied isn't going to change the situation. You can't wait for again, this mystery cup to come in. You have to deal with the cups that you have. okay? You have to deal with what you do have and what you can deal with right now, especially emotionally, and in terms of communicating these things, communicating what you can and can't fix, because some of it might be coming from, again, frustration in other areas of life, especially career, money, sustenance right now. Your general theme for the week is Four of Pentacles. Again, it's like this, he's really holding on to these things. He's really holding on to these pentacles, grasping at them, trying to hold them all at once, and he's not giving them up. So I don't think that you guys are going to be budging in terms of your positions and in terms of communicating certain things this week. It could be, again, like, I just feel like this certain sense of stubbornness and a lack of just going for something. It's like you're just kind of crossing your arms and getting really frustrated and lashing out a little bit, but you need to go either full in or full out here. We need to kind of let go of what we have and start going for more, instead of, because then you're just going to be sitting here trying to grasp constantly, you know, trying to be in this position. And do you really want to continue to be at this position, or do you want to be more at ease, more in enjoyment? They're both kind of battling it. He's holding on to exactly what he has because he's afraid to lose it. He's afraid, if I start moving, if I start, you know, stop battling and just drop the wands and go for something else, turn my direction elsewhere, then what'll happen? Maybe I'll lose all these little pentacles. But with 2 4s, you're really sitting, and they're both of them being upright, you're really holding on to what you have right now, and you're really not satisfied with the options right now moving forward, and what, again, you're afraid to let go of in terms of that. So anyways, Cancer, those are your messages for the week. Thanks again for being patient with this. I'm going to probably just put it up and like slide it into the regular video, but I do feel bad that I forgot about you for a second. I almost put it up and then I go through to do the timestamps and I was like, where is Cancer? Not between, you know, Leo and Gemini for some reason. So I realized I hadn't done you guys, and I apologize. Love you all so much. Have a great week. Namaste.